My gym pictures used to suck, but now I take gym photos that look like this. So, I'm going to turn this picture into this picture in just 6 steps. 6 steps which you can use right now to take better gym photos to impress your mates, show off your progress, and finally stop looking skinny on Tinder and actually get some matches. Lighting is one of the most important parts of any image. When light comes from a single source or point, it creates more shadows, which makes your musculature look more 3D. People generally gravitate towards downlighting or side lighting. Now, downlighting can look great, but if you've got a well-developed chest, it can hide your abs, it'll do very little for your legs, and it can create these unsightly shadows like around your eyes and on your face. I personally love side lighting. It's still sick on the upper body, but way better for your legs and for your face. Now that's because side lighting emphasizes those vertical lines like on your legs, while down lighting emphasizes horizontal lines. And in my opinion, side lighting tends to look more dramatic and you can hide asymmetry better. So we take this shot, improve the lighting a little bit, and we get this. Not terrible, but we've still got a long way to go. The beauty of an image is you decide where you're looking from. Now, there's more to angles and compositions than I know or could explain, but some easy principles are what's closest to the camera is going to look bigger. This is one reason why on stage, where the judges are positioned low in a back double bicep, rather than being sat here, we arch backwards to bring that top line and shoulders closer to the judges. Taking a low angle will make you seem more tall and domineering, but a shoulder height shot will accentuate that top line a little bit more. And you can combine those concepts by pushing your shoulders forwards from the hips to really accentuate that top line. The main factor in your hardware that will affect your image is your focal length. Focal length affects your compression, or how close the background seems, field of view, how wide the frame is, and depth of field, or how out of focus the background is. A longer focal length like this tends to be more pleasing to the eye, especially when photographing people. A 50mm lens is pretty close to how the eyes will see a face, which is why it's so popular for portraits. Phone focal lengths tend to be a lot shorter, around 10 to 20mm, but if you have a phone with 2 cameras, the more zoomed in one will be a longer focal length. You won't get all the benefits, but you can artificially increase your focal length by zooming in. It won't reduce the depth of field, but it will narrow the field of view slightly and potentially make your features look a little bit more natural at the cost of some image quality. So from here, switching to a tripod angle and increasing that focal length to 70mm gets us here. Okay, to articulate my next point, I'm filming this in a commercial gym with people in it. People that probably think I belong in a rubber room with Velcro shoes because I'm talking to a camera.
What's he doing?
He's so weird.
What a maniac.
Looks like a mouth
What a
breather.
schizo.
He's not even handsome.
And this actually applies to all aspects of life, and I know sometimes it's not this simple, but just be confident. If you're super embarrassed, it's going to show in the photos, no matter how much you think it won't. So just own it. I promise you'll be better off. It's not abnormal to want to document your progress or show off your hard work, so as long as you're being respectful, take your pictures like you mean it. You know, rather than trying to stealthily do it and then when someone walks in on you, you pretend to be checking out an injury. Maybe that's just me. Now, taking this nervous wreck and injecting a little bit of confidence, I've just taken my vest off. So I didn't really know how to visually represent confidence. Sue me. Now, learning to pose well is immediately going to make you look bigger, more aesthetic, and less awkward. I mean, there's a reason that people invest in posing coaches like me before they enter a bodybuilding show. Now, the best way to improve on your own is to take pictures and videos of your own posing, comparing it to great poses and seeing what you can improve. Now, the only thing is this can take a long time. This is how I learned at first before hiring high-level coaches, and I think it was probably about 2 years before I would have considered myself a good poser. If you want to fast track that without paying loads for a one-on-one posing coach, I have a posing school that will teach you every bodybuilding pose and give you feedback on your posing. The link to that will be in the description if you're interested. So going from this bland pose to a little most muscular variation, nothing fancy, but a shot I quite like. And lastly, we finish off our image in the post-production phase. My chosen software for this is Lightroom, and you can use this on a phone or computer. So let's go. First thing, I'm going to mask myself out. I'll duplicate and invert that so that I have a mask of the background. Then to separate myself a little bit, I'll lower the exposure of the background slightly. Next, I'm just going to drop the highlights very slightly and then drop the shadows a little bit as well. well. I'm going to separate my upper body from my face and from my trousers because I want to change the texture and clarity. And if I do that with the entire mask of me, you'll see my trousers and face start to become really cooked very fast. So you've got to be careful when you're adjusting things like this that you don't go too far, because it's very easy just by taking the texture and clarity a bit too high that it looks very obviously deep fried. So it's a matter of playing with those sliders to a point where the definition really starts to pop without going over the top. I'm going to add a little bit of halation around the light just because I think it looks kind of cool. I'm pretty happy with that. I tend to keep the adjustments minimal. I feel like if you try and do too much, it becomes very obvious that you're trying to do too much. At last, taking the finished image, sprinkling a little bit of Lightroom magic on, we get this. So, now you know how to take some sick photos. All there's left to do is to go and do it. Go and make some content you love.